Ever After High is a better version of Monster High, and they accomplished what Monster High just couldn't, and it's way better. And here's why. If you don't know what Ever After High is, it's this doll line they released in 2013 after the Monster High doll line popped off. And Monster High is famous for their like edgy, dark fashion, and Ever After High is a complete opposite to that, and still, it's better. Basically, in Ever After High, they are daughters and sons to the famous Disney characters. Apple White is daughter of Snow White. Maddie Hatter is the daughter of the Mad Hatter. Briar Beauty is the daughter of Sleeping Beauty. And Cerise Hood is daughter of the Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. That is a very questionable relationship. This story goes that the famous fairy tale daughters and sons go to the school called Ever After High, and they have to follow their destiny of their parents. So Raven Queen, being the daughter of the evil queen, she has to follow the destiny of poisoning Apple White, which is the daughter of Snow White. A plot twist, Raven Queen doesn't want to follow her destiny. So then, during Legacy Day, when they're like supposed to like write their destiny, that they're gonna follow their destiny, she doesn't. And the headmaster of the school is like, don't do this, everyone will disappear if you do this. But she doesn't, either way. And nothing happens. So, this means that everyone can follow their own destiny and not have to follow their own parents' footsteps, which they had been led to believe their like entire lives. There's also the side of Royal and Rebels. So we have Rebel, Raven, Royal, Apple White, Darling Charming, Royal. Also, Briar Beauty's destiny is to sleep for like 1,000 years, and she doesn't want to do that. So now that she's seen that you don't have to follow your destiny, she's like, I'm not going to. So during Legacy Day, they have to write in the Storybook of Legends, which is like, you like confirm that you're gonna follow your destiny. And Briar Beauty basically gets rid of it since she doesn't want to follow her destiny. So she throws it down a well. But what Briar doesn't know, spoiler alert, is that that well leads to Wonderland. We have the Wonderlarians. That is Lizzie Hearts, daughter of the Queen of Hearts. Bunny Blanc, daughter of the bunny in the movie. Maddie Hatter, daughter of the Mad Hatter. Who else? There's Alistair Wonderland, daughter of Alice in Wonderland. And there's Courtly Jester, daughter of the Jester, I guess. And since Briar threw the book into Wonderland, unknowingly, they all have to travel to Wonderland, which is the movie called Way to Wonderland, which is one of the last movies before the show got cancelled, which is such a bummer. Since the movies are so great, just go and watch like one of the movies on YouTube. They are so good. Monster High could never. The reason why Ever After High is better is because, one, they have such a good storyline. Every character is so like well thought through, and all the movies are so well thought through. Like, the art style is amazing. Focus, please. And they're literally talking about rewriting their own destiny, because like, you don't have to follow your parents' footsteps. Whereas Monster High is like, they go to a school, Dracula is annoying and popular, Frankie too. Now the worst movie would definitely be Epic Winter, which stars Crystal Winter. Now don't get me wrong, it's still really good. But the best movie is probably Way to Wonderland or like Spring on Sprung. While yes, Monster High and Ever After High are made by the same brand, they are so extremely different in very different ways. Since Ever After High, it's just, they're better. Ever After High produced a lot of dolls. I think they have like 70 plus dolls. I don't have all of them, but they have a lot. So they ran from about 2013 to like 2018. I think they were like the last dolls released. Now they had a small reboot. As you can see, this is the first wave Blondie, and this is her reboot doll. So like, there is a small difference. Not a big difference though. I love Blondie, but like, they came like the Crystal Winter movie, Epic Winter, is the reboot. They also changed their logo, so it looked a lot different. And I'd like to say that I like Ever After High better since it reminds me more of like, it's deeper. It makes me like feel emotions, especially like because of Briar. She has such a like deep character since all of her friends will be literally dead when she wakes up. And she doesn't want to do that. Duh, why would she? And like, High does touch on some like deep subjects. They do it better. Like the narrators that are in the story, Maddie can hear them. And I think that is so cool. Plus they have a daughter, which is a character, and that character is the character on the logo of Ever After High. So she narrates, and her name is Brooke Page. Get it? Book Page. I think it's genius, and I think it's way more like fun. Whereas Monster High is like, yeah, they're there. Plus Maddie like talks to them, and everyone is like, who is she talking to all the time? And she's like, don't worry. If you haven't watched Ever After High and you love Monster High, give it a go. I think it feels kind of like Monster High, but with like a My Little Pony-esque vibe. It feels more like that. And I'm not saying it's more childish. I'm saying it's more deep, but like with Madeline, she kind of feels like Pinkie Pie and stuff. You know, like I said, the dolls were from 2013 to 2018, and they got cancelled because of some stuff with Disney, because of Descendants, and I'm hoping for an Ever After High return, but since Mattel is making the Disney dolls now, and they kind of had like a small feud allegedly, I don't think they will ever come back, sadly, because Ever After High was allegedly a big reason why Disney switched Mattel from making the Disney dolls to like Hasbro, so they didn't have the rights to Disney anymore, allegedly. But Monster High had many characters, and they released like a lot of new characters at once. You couldn't really focus on the backstory between like every one of them, whereas Ever After High, you know everything about everyone. Like Raven doesn't want to follow her destiny, so that's like about her. Then there's Apple, who basically hates Raven for not wanting to follow her destiny, because if Raven doesn't follow her destiny, Apple won't get her happy ending, which Apple really wants. And everyone sees Apple as this like selfish girl that is mean to the emo girl, but I still understand Apple. Then we have Byeee, who doesn't want to sleep for 1,000 years because she doesn't want to miss out on like her teenage life. You know, there's Maddie, who is Maddie. It's like Frankie, who was made in a lab. Dracula, who was with Valentine and he like broke her heart. Then there's Claudine, who has a crush on Dracula and is jealous that she ended up with Claude and not her. And also Apple and Darling Charming kind of have a little bit of a love story, since in Dragon Games, Apple gets poisoned by an apple because, you know, evil queen. And she needs to be waken up by a true kiss. And her initial, like, love character is, what's his name? I don't remember. Darling Charming, sorry. And he kisses her. But does she wake up? Nuh-uh. So then, Darling gives her the kiss. And guess what? Apple wakes up. Dun dun dun. I watched Claudine and Nine's video on this, like, a few years ago, and I think the director has like confirmed that there's something LGBTQ going on between them. I'm not sure though, so don't take any of the words seriously, I say. Well, yeah, if you're still not convinced, just look at the dolls, okay? Just look at them, please. Please, just look at them. Maybe not these, but like, yeah. Also, Monster High and Ever After High were in the same universe, at least back in G1, since if you've seen Bjork and you've seen the ending credits, you know that Astronova FaceTimes Apple and Raven, which means that they're in the same universe. And yes, they were going to make a crossover movie back in like 2015, but the Monster High reboot G2 came through and destroyed that entire planning. But there is a book series, I think, about it. So if you want to buy those books, do it. I haven't read them. I don't know if they're good, but like, it exists. It's supposed to be this whole thing, and that is actually the reason why Cupid goes from Monster High to Ever After High. Since if you haven't seen that, this Cupid, character in Monster High from Sweet Season 100, or Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love, is also in Ever After High. You know? Mine is missing a shoe, that's why she's not on the shelf. But like, here's a better version of her. Yes, yes. That is the same character, and there's actually a webisode in Ever After High where she like goes from Monster High to Ever After High. So she's the only character that's ever been in both. Just again indicating that they're the same doll line, no, the same universe. And they were gonna make a crossover movie. But it will never happen since G2 happened and now Ever After High is dead in their grave. Ever After High dolls right now are like really cheap, except for like the expensive, rare. I have a video about like how dolls aren't rare. But yeah, they're rare dolls, you know? I think they like chapter 1 dolls like Apple, Raven, Maddie are pretty cheap, except for like Kitty Cheshire, like Lizzie Hart's, and like Corley Jester. But I think you can find Byeee for a good price, and Cerise too. Rosabella, $10 easy. Mira is pretty hard to find, which is the doll I'm holding right now. The one that I've used in this entire video. I love her a lot. She's so cool. Original Cupid, easy. This is not original. This is original. You can find her easy. I think Dutch is pretty cheap. Michelin Mermaid is easy, like $20. Darling, pretty cheap too. Like, they're not expensive anymore, which is so sad. So, like, if they get a revival at some point, actually, comment down below if you want them to make a revival. Let's make a petition to Mattel. When is Ever After High G2 coming? Like, literally when? Like, when? Yeah, you can probably get your hands on some cheap dolls. And in my opinion, their quality is better than Monster High. This is just a Monster High video. I love Monster High, of course. But Ever After High, it's better. And if you're not convinced, I will make a part 2. I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty random. And yeah, bye!